Welcome, everyone, to another episode of the Bougie Mom Friends podcast. Today, we are so excited because we are joined by Miss Olga. She owns the Natural Faces account and store, and we're going to get into all of the holistic and natural remedies if you're aging or you're thinking, I need to do something, but I don't really want to go down Botox fillers route. Is there something I can do? Is there something that's an affordable option? Well, ladies, we have the conversation for you.
Hey mama, it is Celia from Bougie Mom Friends. If you are trying to find balance being an amazing mom while still trying to find time for you, you are in the right place. My co-host Cammie and I are here to talk about all of the things from trusting your instinct with your kids to carving out space for self-care and even indulging in a little pop culture escape. It's all about real conversations with moms who get it because we're all about thriving, not just surviving. So take a breath, grab a drink, and join us, your Bougie Mom Friends.
So here is Miss Olga. So how did you get into this? How did you discover kind of like a natural side to preventing aging?
Well, first of all, thank you for having me, guys. I'm so excited to share some of my findings. How I start, well, the first time when I actually got into it a little bit was when my older daughter, she was a teenager at the time. It was years ago. And, as many teenagers, she was going through the rough time with her skin. And of course, I didn't know anything about it at that time. We went to the typical route, the dermatologist, all of whatever they prescribe, all of that. Clearly, it wasn't really, or it was maybe helping in the beginning, and then you could see the setbacks, or it wasn't helping, and my daughter was still not happy. It was just kind of a rough time. And I remember that time, that's the time when we had bookstores around, and I was at some bookstore and I found this amazing book that there was a Japanese take on the traditional Japanese beauty and the traditional Japanese remedies. They even had some recipes for, make your own face cream or shampoo. And I remember just looking through that book, being mesmerized and thinking, one day when I have time, when the kids are older, maybe I'll be able to do something like this for myself. But having said that, that kind of stuck with me a little bit, that Japanese traditional skincare approach. And then when my daughter was having those issues, and the round of the dermatologist and all of that wasn't, doing anything, I started literally researching and looking into the Japanese traditional methods in skincare. And it took me quite some time because, like I say, it was maybe 15 years ago, where the internet wasn't, as advanced as right now. There was no social media practically. And took me a while. It literally took me a few months to find some pure Japanese traditional skincare products. This is one I bought. I bought it for my daughter. It was a Japanese soap. It was the Japanese rice brand that I still use to this day. And it was a few products. And literally my daughter's skin started to change and thrive really fast after I put her onto those products. So that was actually that was the first time when I was wait a second, this is such pure, simple ingredients that cost nearly 5 times less than what the dermatologist prescribed to us. And it worked really, really fast. So that's when I kind of started using those products and, put my daughter on it and so on. Then kind of fast forward a little bit. At that time, I was, I don't know, how old was I? Maybe 30, early of my 30s. I wasn't really thinking about aging or preventative or anything like that. Especially it wasn't really popular back then. But then when I was like turning, let's say like 40, 41, and a lot of my friends turned at that time into Botox and fillers. And I was like, wait a
Yep.
second, like, I don't want to do that. There's just like something. I was like always kind of leaning more towards the natural approaches, like all my life. And I was like, I don't want to do that. Like, is there anything else I can do? So again, I just started researching. And at the time when I landed on some information about like facial massages, and I really took an interest in it. And I took so much interest that I actually flew to like Eastern Europe, to Russia. I started taking courses. I started attending like professional massage schools, because I really wanted to get into the depth. I
Understand
didn't want to
techniques.
just exactly. I wanted to understand, what am I supposed to doing? Why would I want to be doing this? And all of that. So I really got into studying the subject from, from the ABC basically. And like I said, attended several professional massage school. I was taught in different techniques, from buccal to myofascial release to fascia to face taping, and everything in between. Even there was even like a course in Japanese facial techniques, like a Japanese massage, all of that. So that's how I started. And then, like I said, like many of my friends went like the popular, especially very popular at that time, the Botox route.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just kind of, okay, let me try something else.
Do my own
And I
thing.
went into the natural route, exactly. And kind of, got stuck with it.
What was the time frame of this, from like when you're taking courses to when you were like, I really have a neck for this, like it's actually working, it's like preventing my wrinkles? What was your time span on that?
So I started, like I said, I started studying this subject. I was like 40 or 41. I'm almost 49 now. So that was like
Wow.
9 years ago. And I started practicing on myself, and then, all the way around. And when it was the time of the pandemic, this is the time when, like our businesses got shut down pretty much. We got to be stuck at home, all of that. And my daughter opened the TikTok account. And like, we were started all of a sudden, there's nothing else to do. All of a sudden, we started watching TikTok videos. Myself and my daughter, we kind of like posted a couple of videos just for fun, just, having a little fun during the day. Yes. And then my third video or something, I just posted whatever, me dancing. It was something like this, me dancing. And then people were starting commenting like, oh my God, like, but what do you do? Like, what do you do for your, self-care or whatever it is?
Yeah.
And like my fourth video, I posted on taping, because that's exactly what I was doing. And I was like, okay, I'll just share. So I posted the video on taping, and that was 4.5 years ago. On TikTok, I was the first person posting about the face taping, and it literally blew up because people were shocked. They didn't understand what it was. This was for a majority of people. Clearly, it was the first time them seeing something like this. And I was like, well, wait a second. I didn't even realize that so many people in the United States or the other parts of the world don't know what it is. And that's how, sitting during the pandemic, I just started sharing the videos, and it like acquired such a big interest that I even had to go and open the Instagram account, which I didn't even have before. And it literally grew into a whole different business.
That's how I know about you, because I've been following you for years now. I shop at your store.
But I'm honestly to say, I'm thankful for the social media on so many levels, because so many people have now the opportunity to find about different methods, about different products very easily, versus like me sharing the story when I was like beginning of my 30s. It literally took me several months, like almost every day, sitting on the internet finding what I was trying to find.
Right.
Like face taping method, it's been transforming and promising for so many people, because the people who do not want to do the Botox round, the people who cannot do the Botox round, let's say, right? Or who cannot afford it, whatever the reason, they do have a little bit of a different option. And I'm always happy to share about, like I said, it's been like 4.5 years sharing about specifically face taping and, of course, all of the other natural modalities that I have been practicing myself and learning and still learning every day. You know, I still take courses. I still learn something every day.
That's amazing. I mean, if anyone sees what you look like at your age, they will all be subscribing to everything because you look fantastic.
Thank you.
It's amazing. I know you get a lot of haters online that are like, oh, you must do Botox. You must get fillers.
That's okay.
You know,
that's okay. But, I mean, you know,
but it looks that good.
Yeah, and I take it as a compliment from them. I say, that's what I tell them. I said, well, you see, it just basically proves once again that these methods really do work, you know, so
let's break it down a little bit. So when we're talking about taping, ladies, we're not talking about getting some Scotch tape from your medicine cabinet. This is like specific kinesiology tape right from Japan. So you gotta watch out for the fakes because the fakes exist on Amazon. You don't want to do that.
Yes, very correct.
I have it here because, like I said, I'm a subscriber.
And I have it here too. Yeah.
Let's talk about it a little bit. Why specifically this Japanese tape for those who don't know?
So basically, the kinesiotaping, if people kind of like they don't pay attention a little bit, but if you go back to like the 80s, this is when the body taping really took off, when the Olympic athletes were, you would see them starting in the 80s, Olympic athletes covered in the tapes. And people don't really understand like what it is, right? But the kinesio tape was developed by the Japanese American doctor to help his patients speed up the recovery of the trauma, of the tissues, to help with the lymphatic drainage, the circulation, inflammation, reducing the pain, like pain management, and all of that. And if you think about it, right, people are still sort of hating on the taping method, but the Olympic athletes, they get the best team of doctors in the world, literally, from all of the different countries.
Yeah, that's true.
The most advanced countries, it's, China, Japan, Canada, USA, right, Russia, whatever it is. And all of them are using taping on their bodies. This stuff really works. If you go back to, let's say, on my Instagram, and I had so many messages, like thank you messages from people who have found the help with the taping from TMJ issues. Again, right? When we have the TMJ issues, a lot of it has to do with inflammation and the pain. And such a simple modality as taping can literally help cleanse that inflammation without the use of drugs, can help decompress the pain receptors, decompress the lymph vessels, the blood vessels, to speed up all of that tissues healing, recovery, and regeneration, and all of that, muscle relaxation, and all of that. And if it really helps the body so much, it can certainly help the little wrinkles on the face, because it's the same structures, it's the same receptors, it's the same muscles, the fascia, the blood vessels, all of it. All we have to do is to give a little help to our tissues by decompressing the layers, right? To allowing that fresh surge of blood and the proper lymph flow. At the same time, helps to calm down the inflamed muscles, the tense muscles, and regenerate our skin cells faster. And the wrinkles eventually start to smooth out. So it's basically kind of works like that. It's very simple and at the same time very mesmerizing and amazing.
Yeah. It's crazy. I had forehead lines and I started using it on my forehead. And my sister's like, your lines went away. Like, what are you doing? And I'm like, I'm just taping it. And I don't even do it. I don't do it frequently. I do it maybe when I remember, so it's like maybe once a week,
Right.
maybe twice a week. It's not like
Exactly.
super
You're
laborious.
even doing it like as a little maintenance, and it's still like giving you some help. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And again, like, especially as, like you were young, right? You started a little younger. Like my younger daughter is taping and my older one does not because she doesn't have the need for it. She has a different skin. She doesn't have that of a expressive facial expressions. But my younger one, she's taping. And she's loving it. She's also taping her mouth. And that's another thing. I really love the tape because you can use it as a face taping.
Mm-hmm.
You can use it as a mouth tape. It's like one product for everything. You use it for your TMJ issues, for your neck pain management. I use it on the back of my neck often when kind of like, I'm sitting on my phone a lot. And I'm like, the back of my neck is starting to, feeling that. So I just put on the tape and on the neck, on the back of the neck, you can put the tape on for leave it on for like a day or 3 and just without even taking it off. And it's like amazing. Yeah. Again, it's just going to decompress those tissues, help the pain management, get the blood flow, help relax those tense muscles, and you're good to go.
It's like a massage on the go.
It's like a very inexpensive product and it works perfectly. So, but going back to your question, as to why the Japanese face tape. So when we see those athletes, right, people wearing the body tapes, those are specifically tapes designed for the body use. They are harsher tapes. They have a way harsher adhesive to be able to grip through even like the man's, hairy thighs or backs, whatever it is. So obviously it's something we do not want to be using on our face. Like those tapes are way too harsh to be using on a delicate facial skin. And there's one Japanese company, and it's actually only one, honestly, that makes the specifically face tape because it uses the advanced Japanese technology. The tape, the material itself is a lot thinner. It's gentler. The adhesive is a lot gentler. It's hypoallergenic. It's like made for sensitive skin. All of our facial and neck skin is sensitive, for all of us. So it is the best quality tape that is still available to this day. And I started using this tape like years ago when I was studying it. And, all of the professional ones that I've seen, the professional schools, the salons that do the face taping, all of them use only the Japanese tape. None of them are using the China-made tapes that are really suitable just for the body, just for my ankle or my knee. And again, when it comes to our delicate face skin, you definitely want the best product.
You don't want to be ripping off face cells.
So this is the thing with the face taping. Like I said, I started sharing about it 4.5 years ago. It was so new. I was actually bombarded with so much hate back then. It's crazy. But
really?
Oh my God, it was so bad. But then people started realizing wait a second, it really works. And then there are other kinds of people that started realizing that you get a lot of views sharing about face taping. And people started using any tapes they can find laying around in their house. I have seen some horrible videos using totally incorrect tapes, totally incorrect applications. It's there are very, very few schools that are still available that teach the proper techniques of face taping. And so many people really want to be in the trend, and they want to be sharing videos about it. And that's when it's kind of like a bummer about this trend is that it attracts all of that, and you see all of this poorly executed applications, completely incorrect, the wrong tapes, all of that. A lot of use of the body tapes, and then people are writing to me, "Oh my God, I have this terrible irritation or this and that." My first question is, "What tape are you using?" "Oh, I don't know. I got this on Amazon, blah blah." And I'm like, I'm sorry, but like I keep saying for 4.5 years, I do not recommend those tapes. I would
Yep.
never use it on myself. I would never recommend it. And like, what can I tell you? I'm sorry, but don't ever use that tape again.
Yeah, you're like, I warned you. And it's not super expensive either. You can find it on your store. You get a huge roll. It lasts me a really long time for like $25.
Yeah, it's like 5 meters long. Like you can literally use it for a few months. There's like another one I want to just share quickly with you that
Yeah.
I've been dealing for like over a month now. So there's like a couple of stores that I found on Amazon, now on Walmart. They're using my image, that's already been recognized image of me with the face tape. They're claiming that it's like, the phrase is Japanese face tape became like also so popular. People are selling, offering Chinese tapes, but claiming that these are Japanese tapes. And
Wow.
I'm having a hard time with the Amazon taking down that store that's using my images, obviously without authorization, confusing Amazon customers. Imagine, like,
Yeah.
it's so bad. So my point is that unfortunately, with such a big success of any method, a lot of scammers come into game. The fakes, the scammers, the unethical companies, unethical whatever it is, the creators, like lots of people. And you really have to be careful, and you have to trust the people who you are watching, who you think
Yeah.
is knowledgeable in the subject, and who offers the true product and all of that. So that's a
Right.
little bit of a warning to everybody at the moment, is that I'm seeing like unbelievable amount of like scamming going on right now.
That's really unfortunate. But we're bringing it to the ladies direct. If you want the tape, go to Miss Olga's shop, The Natural Faces, and that's where you'll get the correct product. So do you want to do a little demo, maybe like a basic
Sure, we
tape
can do that.
application? Because we've been talking about it.
Yes.
Like maybe the forehead. I feel like everyone is always
Like about the forehead. Yeah,
the lines.
for sure.
Yeah.
So the tape is a roll of tape, and it doesn't come pre-cut in any strips, because specifically you want to measure the size of your forehead, because you want to make it customized to your measurements. So you're going to take the roll of tape, and you're going to measure it from your hairline down to the beginning of your brows, basically. And you're going to make a cut just like this. So you're going to have a piece of tape like this. Then on the back of the tape, you will see the lines, and you're going to cut the tape along those lines. So a lot of times I see the mistake of people cutting across, and that is incorrect, because tape is only stretchable in one direction. And in the way it is stretchable, that's the way we are applying it to. And then I like to round the corners, because it looks a lot cleaner, a lot more aesthetically pleasing. And you don't want to get like a little hair kind of like get stuck in the,
True.
if it's like a sharp corner. Right. Mm-hmm. So then what you're going to do is very easily, we are ripping off the backing paper, and we're removing the part of it. So just like this. And the part that's already removed the paper, we are slightly lifting the tissues up, right? So we're lifting the tissues up, and we're going to place the tape. And while we're holding these tissues in this up extended, like pre-extended position, we are removing the backing paper and gliding the tape down, just like this. And then we're just going to brush it up, and that's it. And we have one strip down. And then you can do like a 2 larger strips, or you can do like 4 like thinner strips just to cover the forehead. It's very easy. And then you go to sleep. And before taping, you can do your skincare. So the tape is also great, because you don't have to skip on your skincare. You do your skincare. The only thing is that you might have to wait like 15, 20 minutes to allow your skincare to kind of settle and absorb a little bit, and then do the taping. And go to sleep. You wake up, and while you're sleeping, so basically for 8 or whatever hours, your tissues are getting extra blood, extra oxygen, like they're regenerating faster and all of that. Muscles are getting some relaxation. Eventually, your wrinkles will be smoothing out more and more, and the results will be longer and more stable. At least it should be like that, especially if you combine it with some of the like facial massage techniques. Your results are just going to be like longer and longer and longer lasting.
So like when you're putting the tape down, I think you want to make sure you don't like pull it, right? It's just kind of like you're unrolling it, but kind of like pressing it in. You're not putting tension on it.
Right. So we're not stretching the tape, right? We're not stretching the tape, because tape is kind of already a little bit pre-stretched in this condition. So we're just removing the backing, right? Placing the first part on the forehead. As we are removing the backing from the rest of it, we are gliding the tape down.
Yes. That was like the hardest thing for me to learn, because like my impulse was to like pull it, and I'm like, that doesn't look right.
Yeah. So basically, if you stretch the tape, and you can actually see that you have overstretched the tape, because you will see the skin kind of like getting into like this, like gathering, bunching up. So we don't want to see that. And that typically happens when the person stretches the tape.
Yeah. So it's really easy. You just kind of like just put it on there. I mean, you can do anything. You can do, I do sometimes the crow's feet.
Yes. The crow's feet, these under eye, little wrinkles that we get under eyes, the 11 lines, right? Your frown lines. It's just like, there's so many. There are also like applications for lymphatic drainage, and those you will see with like, I call them the octopus, where it's like the tape and it's cut into this little long strips, and they look like the octopus legs. So that really promotes the lymphatic flow, and that one is great to do also.